Hey guys, Kel with Family Handyman here. You know, as a DIYer, you run into a lot of acronyms with the projects that you're working on, and sometimes you might not know what they mean, but you probably should because it pays off to be informed. So here are a few acronyms that every DIYer should know. PVC stands for polyvinyl chloride. It was actually first synthesized in 1872 by a German chemist, and then it was made more flexible and its use expanded. Today you can find it in almost every house that you go in. You know WD-40 as the cure-all for all things immovable, but do you know what it stands for? WD means water displacement, and the 40 represents the number of times it took to master the formula way back in 1953. GFCI is an important acronym to know for electrical work. It stands for ground fault circuit interrupter, and you can typically find these outlets in kitchens or bathrooms where there's water to avoid shock. MDF, or medium density fiberboard, is an inexpensive option for woodworking or carpentry projects. It's basically just sawdust and glue fused together, and it works well for shelving or storage projects because it cuts nicely. UL. You see it on light bulbs and other items, but what does it stand for? It stands for Underwriters Laboratories, based out of Northbrook, Illinois. It sets the standard for all electrical products. Wi-Fi is an abbreviation of sorts. Technically, it stands for Wireless Fidelity, which is meant to be a play on the hi-fi or high fidelity term. PEX gets its name because it's a form of polyethylene with crosslinks. It's a very popular brand of plumbing nowadays because you don't need to glue it, and it's less likely to burst if it freezes. HVAC. You hear it all the time, but what does it stand for? It's pretty simple and it's kind of obvious when you hear it. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and everybody has it in their house. PSI stands for pounds per square inch. It measures things like tire pressure and water pressure. AC/DC. Yes, it is a band, but it stands for alternating current and direct current. Alternating current changes direction periodically, while direct current travels in a straight line. Most electronics use direct current. AC delivers power to houses and office buildings because it travels over distances better. Alright, so those are just a few acronyms that every DIYer should know. And IMHO, there are a lot more out there, so keep brushing up on those and stay in the know. FYI, for more DIY tips and tricks, head to familyhandyman.com. ASAP.